Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is the 15th of October, I believe. So we're midway through the month. We kicked off 2 weeks into quarter 4, and today I'm going to be going over GBP, JPY, GBP, AUD, and gold. So I hope you all have a great trading week this week, and you are all marking up your charts to a very accurate level. And even if you're not, it's about anticipating what's going to happen. And if you're reading the markets cleanly, that's what's important, having a clear mind, right? Because you're not always going to mark the charts up clearly, accurately, 100%. And I don't want you all thinking, oh, I didn't read the markets properly this week. Do I know how to read the markets? Don't do that to yourself, simply because we all have different market conditions which favor us and our trading strategy. So sometimes the market conditions can be erratic and difficult to get opportunities from. So all we're going to do is, with the current market conditions, can we capitalize off it and can we take some good trades? That's all that we want. Keep it very simple. So if you go on the weekly time frame, as you can see, I just did my markup a few hours ago. So we're gonna keep it like that. So forget all the lines for now. What can we see? We can see that price has rejected 180, right, in the past, in July, in quarter 3. And then price, after we had this huge wick, we pulled back to form a higher low wick. And then momentum kicked in. And you can see a similar thing happening here. We had a huge wick into this. I don't know why I said huge like that, but we had a huge wick in this area. We closed above this body on the weekly time frame. And you can see, similar to this candle, we had a similar candle, right? Where we tried pushing down further. We left a nice wick to the upside. So we can potentially see price pull back into somewhere around here and push up. If we are going to drop on the weekly, we're looking for price to come into 172, into our previous nice structural area, a nice resistance turning into a support. That's where we see price coming. But that's if we do drop, I believe. That's why I have this right here. And in terms of the pullback, I said we can see price pulling back into this area. Let's just forget this for now. Let's focus on this. If you go on the daily and we just clear this up again, what can we see? We can see that price was forming a lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, break of structure. And when did the break of structure occur? After we came into 180, after we came into this nice area of support, after we came into this weekly support, daily support, and we had the break of structure. So it's not a coincidence that price is potentially looking for a change and shift in momentum after bouncing off this area. So now that we have a overview on the higher time frames, we can potentially give a verdict on where we think price will go. I believe, based off the weekly, based off the daily, that price is looking to continue its upside momentum, and we need to pinpoint an entry. For me, I think the price may come around here. We can see this area too, but for me, this is just a stronger level. Price pounced off this area, and you can see price closed above this area and retested and pushed. So I can see a revisit of this area and then a push up. That's the daily. When you go on the 4-hour, now it's about pinpointing these entries. All right, we see price coming back into this daily area. As I said, the weekly and daily support. Now the question is, what do I do? Do I buy here? That's if price comes there, right? Do I want to sell into that area? Maybe. It depends on your experience and depends on what you're willing to risk. But I think if we will come into this area, obviously we can just come in like that straight. Or I think we're going to retest this area here and then drop. The question is, if we do get a 4-hour rejection here and a nice engulfing or a break of structure on the 30-minute time frame, do I want to sell? That's the tricky question. You can look at it in two ways. You can say maybe, all right, cool. We're having a lower high, and a lower high on the lower low, sorry, not high, lower lows, and we're having lower highs. Price may want to come back on the 4-hour time frame and continue its lower high before becoming bullish, continuing its bullish momentum. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine this is the daily time frame, right? This is what's happened so far. We had this a lower high, sorry, because price came at this. We broke structure with a higher high, and now I'm looking to get on the pullback. But when the daily is pulling back, the 4 hours forming lower highs and lower lows. And I am looking to get in, obviously, around here or at the break of structure, right? Obviously, it won't just be like that. It'll probably be a pullback and a push up. But that's what's happening on the 4-hour time frame right now. If you see here, we broke the daily high. This is the high, lower high. Now on the 4-hour, we broke structure and we're forming lower highs and lower lows. The question is, do I want to sell on these lower highs and lower lows? It depends on your risk. So if price comes here and it gives us rejections, we can maybe look for sells down here. Or you can be like, you know what, I want to be very conservative and wait for price to come here and buy. So I'm looking for buys here or a break of this level, a retest, and I will look for buys into here at least. Because you can see here, this is a nice support, which we rejected and we pushed up recently. We can also see it's a nice support, which we rejected and pushed up. We can see we rejected this area twice. It was a resistance sometimes, but most importantly, it's a quarterly level. It's not just a round psychological level of 183 or 184. It's a quarterly level. What do we mean by quarterly levels? Quarterly levels is, so let's just say we have 190 and 180. We have 190 and we have 180. A quarterly level would be 182.5. It's a quarter between 180 and 190. 185 is a half level. 187.5 is another quarterly level. These are strong quarterly levels. When the price is at 180, the bank may say, we want price to go to the next quarter of 182.5. All right, when it gets above 1825, let's take it to 185, 185 to 1875. Right, it's jumping in quarters every 250 pips. So let's say we have a 1,000 pip gap, 250 pips will be each quarter. So I can see price rebounding off this strong level, right? I believe it's a strong level because we combined it off the structural point, 182.5. So what I want is price to come into here, reject and potentially drop, and then we can buy. If it does not reject this area, I'm waiting for a break, a retest, and buys. TP1, TP2. You're thinking, how did I get TP2? The thing is, the resistance is quite tricky because if you go on the daily time frame, we have this resistance, we have this resistance, this resistance, this resistance, and I'm not sure where we are actually going to go. I believe we may pitch up into these highs of 186.8, around 186, but I'm happy with just taking the middle of these resistance and going into 185. 185 is a nice psychological level. It's our next key level, so I would just take it there. I don't always take this approach of just saying it will go to 185, but I'm not sure if it will go here, 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 here. What do I think? I think we're going to go and go all the way up into this area here and rise into that level. But I'm happy with a risk to reward of 123, 124 for the week and taking it into 185. I hope that all makes sense to everyone. Yeah, that's all from me. And in terms of sales, would I want to sell below this zone? Potentially, but it's difficult to actually capture an entry area since we have all these candles and wicks. And where do I really sell? Do I sell here? Do I sell here? I don't know. I need price to give us more data around that area for me to even consider sales, because yeah, it's a bit of a mess. It can reverse anytime like it did here. But watch out for this level, which I'm expecting it to come to if we break this area. So yeah, that's my outlook for GJ. Let's see what happens. As you can see, I don't really want to buy off this 4-hour support, which I showed here. Not really feeling it on the daily time frame. No, I'm not really feeling it. I rather just doesn't look like the strongest level to me. GBP AUD, if you look on the 3-month time frame, just to give a quick overview, we can see a huge wick to the upside. We can see a pinch above these highs. On the weekly time frame, we can see that we broke below these bodies and we are pulling back now. If you see in the past, what happened? Every time we had a double top, we pinched above the previous high. Every time we had a double top, we pinched above the previous high. We had a double top, we pinched above the previous high. Look at this wick, we pinched above that high. So we've had another high. If we're going to get a double top, I think we're going to pinch above this high and then potentially leap down into 185. Or That, or we pull back into this area and we drop. Why this area? Because you can clearly see that firstly, if you go on the daily time frame, we are the daily is clearly bullish, right? Low, lower high, lower low, wick into the support, broke structure, very similar to GJ. We came into a support, then we broke structure, then we pulled back, then we broke structure, broke higher, sorry, and now we're looking for a pullback, right? So the daily is clearly bullish, right? The 4 hours clearly bullish, as you can see. We are looking for a pullback into this support, into this previous resistance, and we will look for buys into 195. Yeah, and we'll see what happens there. I'm not going to sell there. I'm not going to sell. If we break, we'll retest. I'll look for buys into 199.7, where we can pinch above these highs. So what are we doing here? We're combining structure, key supports with support and resistance, a bit of our own intuition, as we've been trading for nearly 3 years now. A price action, candlestick formations, psychological levels, and we're just combining this, mixing it together in a pot and putting it into this chart and putting it into our trading strategy. Nothing complicated, right? And if you see here, the reason why I would look for buys above this area is because when price broke above this area, we retested it and we pushed up. We rejected it once, twice, and we retested it and pushed. So it's definitely a responsive level, right? As you can see, this candle rejected. You're probably thinking, why aren't you looking for sells there? I may do. If the daily and 4 hour break structure, I'm going to take a conservative approach here because I'm not sure how high we're going to go on the weekly. Are we going to go here? Are we going to go there? Based on that, I'm not too sure where we're going to drop from. So I'm going to take a conservative approach of waiting for the daily and 4 hour to break structure before I do look for sales, especially when we've also rejected 1.9 as well, which is a very strong level, as you can see. That's that. Gold, let's keep it very short and snappy. It's very simple for me. We can see that price came into this support right here, a very strong level, rejection, huge rejection, huge rejection. You can also see in the weekly we've broken structure, low, lower high, lower high, lower high. I'm looking at the bodies. I look at the bodies when we are looking for breakout structures, just because price could not break above this area and could not finalize the week above this zone. Price has now finalized and closed above this zone, above this body, sorry. So we've broken what we couldn't break before. Couldn't break this body. Price couldn't close above it. Now we have, right? That's telling me, okay, there's a sign of shifting momentum. So I'm only looking for buys around here and maybe around here. We will see it clearly in the daily time frame. I'm not looking for sells. Look how bullish that candle is. Why would I want to sell this week? Why? It doesn't make sense. Based off this candle, I don't want to sell. I'm not selling against that candle. So this week's very simple for me. I look for buys here at around 1905, 1900, or here, 1890. Very simple. That's all I've done. I buy here or I buy here. I'm not selling here. I'm not selling there. You can do if you want at your own risk. You can look for intraday 5-minute entries, but I don't take 5-minute entries, 10-minute entries. I focus on the 4 hour daily to understand my overview of where price is going to go. I look at the 4 hour for rejections, then I go into the 30-minute, the 15-minute, and look for some nice entry confirmation, such as a free pin formation, such as a prominent doji, such as a strong engulfing, a break of structure. Any of those factors are great for me. And when I say a 4 hour rejection, sometimes it can just be a wick like that. And then that's a good rejection to me. That's a good rejection to me on the 4 hour. Even that's a good rejection to me. That's a strong rejection, obviously. That's a free pin formation, even stronger on the 4 hour. But I usually look for a nice wick rejection, and then I scale down on the 30-minute time frame to pinpoint my entry. Perfect. Thank you very much. I hope you all gained valuable knowledge from this, and I hope you all please do subscribe, you do like and comment, and help push this channel, and we can grow. Soon I'm going to get a camera. Soon I'm going to start showing what you can possibly do outside of trading to help you mentally, physically, and emotionally, which can obviously improve your results in trading as well. And you have to remember, right, in trading, you're the business. You are the business. in trade, you have to treat it like a business. When you lose, it's an expense. When you win, it's revenue. You need to understand how you're gaining that revenue and what you're doing correct. And when you gain excessive expenses and when you're wasteful and you're losing money, you need to understand, why am I losing money? You have to remember, you are not going to delete your expenses completely, because in a business, you always have expenses. So it's not about getting the expenses to zero, because in a business, you cannot do that. You can't run a business on zero expenses, right? There's always going to be some sort of expense. It's about minimizing it so you can maximize your profits. And that's what it's all about. And you are the business. So you are in control, right? Whatever happens, whether the market is going on your side or not, you are in control. You are in control of your risk. You are in control when you enter. You are in control what you do outside of trading. You are in control of your health. You are in control of your thoughts. You are in control of who you talk to, your body. So you need to make sure you're looking after you. You need to make sure that your brain is a huge part of this business, right? Because you're using your brain all the time in trading. So you need to make sure you're looking after your brain. So how would you look after your brain? You eat the right foods. You exercise regularly. You have a disciplined routine and you're growing every single day, because then your brain will feel better just by you improving every single day. You need to make sure that you come into these markets with a clear mind. And as I mentioned, surrounding yourself around the right people, eating the right foods, having the correct disciplines will help you and maximize your potential in this industry. So I hope you're looking after you, as you are the business. You are the business here. So make sure you follow your disciplines, you stay focused, you stay motivated. Um, and yeah, I hope you all have a great trading quarter, a great trading week, great trading month, and stick at it. And yeah, peace.